There's a new show on Netflix which is sparking a wave of controversy.
Would you let your kids do this?
All right, parents, here's a question for all of us. How old is old enough?
It's a series called Old Enough, and it follows the journey of young children as they run various errands for their parents. Each episode is set in a different Japanese neighbourhood, and the children running these errands are as young as 2 years old. Controversy aside, the series has raised another, more interesting question for urban planners. What makes Japanese neighbourhoods child-friendly? This is Mamadamachi. It's a small neighbourhood situated in Hita City, about 75 kilometres from Fukuoka in the south of Japan. In Series 1, Episode 7, a 2-year-old girl is tasked by her mum to drop off an apron to her father, who's a chef at the local restaurant. If we map out the journey she takes from her parents' home to the restaurant, it's approximately a 250-metre walk. I wanted to know if children often walk down the streets by themselves in Japan, or whether this was all being done just for TV. I sat down with Naho Degawa, a placemaker and urban planner based in the city of Chiba.
When I was a child, my mom told me you can go up to this area or this shop, but don't go further. Yeah, the education was just like that. So people still go get some food in the neighborhood by walk. So I know those people, and then mom knows those people. So we all know each other. So something strange happened, they always let them know. So that makes all the safe environment.
As well as the connection that Japanese people have to their neighbourhoods, the layout of the street and the relationship between buildings and public spaces also contribute to a place feeling safe. If we look at the main high street in Mamadamachi, you'll see that the road is very narrow. The narrow road means that buildings are built right up to the edge of the street. There's a concept in urban planning known as eyes on the street. It was coined by Jane Jacobs, who is one of the most influential activists and urbanists of the 21st century. Jacobs' theory is that neighbourhoods feel safer when there are more eyes watching over the street. You'll notice in Mamadamachi that buildings facing onto the street have windows and openings, providing the street with a sense of natural surveillance. As the little girl is walking down the street, people are waving and watching closely. A stranger even jumps in to help her across the road. Despite these inbuilt design features, perceptions around safety in public spaces is changing.
So I feel like it was safer when I was a kid. That is because we don't know neighbors these days. Luckily, I know neighbors on the street in here, but a lot of people don't know who's there next door. Yeah, these days.
Japan is internationally well regarded as having a high proportion of children who are independently mobile. In 2015, a study looked at a number of countries to compare children's levels of independent mobility. This graph shows that Japan scores amongst the highest ranking of the countries studied, meaning that Japanese children are some of the most independently mobile in the world. Naho has also worked as an urban planner in Australia, and we got talking about what makes Japanese neighbourhoods generally feel safer.
We are probably good at making invisible rules, or I don't know, like software.
The concepts of hardware and software that Naho is referencing relate to the difference in the approach to planning. In Australia, physical interventions in our built environments help to make places feel safer. In Japan though, there's broader social and cultural factors that influence people's connection with a place.
So to me, I think Western people are good at making system, but we are not good at making system.
Interesting.
Yeah. In Australia, like so many regulations in each levels, and design code, or I don't know, subdivision, and then each area, like so many details, but we don't have much.
And it's true, there's lots of regulations in urban planning policy in Australia, but that's a story for another day. Many different factors contribute to the way that children experience the built environments around them. It's clear that it's not just planning and design that encourages children to be more independently mobile. It's also a combination of other, less tangible factors. We need to constantly be thinking about the way that we design and plan our cities to ensure that they are inclusive as possible for young people. If we can get it right for children, then our cities and neighbourhoods will be safe and welcoming for everyone.